Hey everyone, welcome back to the AI Advantage with Jim, and he's George. This is the show where we make AI simple, useful, and actually worth your time, especially if you're a small business owner trying to do more with less. Each week, we break down tools, tips, and real world examples that can help you work smarter, not harder. No jargon, no hype, just practical ways to use AI to grow your business, save time, and stay ahead. Today, we're diving into one of the most popular tools out there, chatbots. What they are, how they work, and how they can actually make your life easier. Now, George, chatbots have come a long way in the past year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you think about the first time you heard a robotic voice, it's probably on when you call someone, right? When you call, let's say, Rogers or CRA, there's always someone on the other side of the line saying, "Bop, bop, 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 do this, press one, do this, press two." That sort of thing is, I think everybody has experienced it, and you can tell those are robots or not a real person, right, on the other side. Then we move to Siri.
For,
I
for, our,
think
for our American audience, that's like ATT or what, T-Mobile and
IRS.
the
Yeah,
IRS. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. Um, and then you talked about the first, conversational one that you had, I think was probably Siri, right?
Yeah,
Of
mainstream, yeah.
Siri. And then you have Alexa, then you had like the Google version, whatever. They all kind of
And
like,
and those are considered chatbots.
yeah, because you can talk to them, right? Like, hey, Siri, and then it pops up, right? How
Okay.
can I help you today? What is the weather tomorrow? Tomorrow's weather is blah, 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 blah. It's very robotic. You know you're talking to a robot, right?
Movie line.
Yeah. But it's not the case anymore. Um, uh, with advancement in AI, one of the first thing they've done is really crack the code in voice, right? Right now, you can replicate anybody's voice. You can make people say whatever they want. You can now create conversation bots that you literally have conversation with. And if you equip them with the right knowledge, they can be your professor. They can be your consultant. They can be your marketing guru. We're talking about endless possibilities here, and they can be your support agent. They can help small business. Let's say you're a realtor, right?
A lot of
If
them out there.
Yeah, for sure. And I worked with a few of them, and they said one of the biggest challenge they have is taking in data, right? Like if you've done all your marketing correctly, right? And then you finally get someone to call you. It's like, I want to list my house with you. You're like, okay, great. But then there's a series of information that you need to gather, right? Like, how big is your house? How many bedrooms? And it's just standardized questions, right? Like, if you said you don't want to send them a form and fill them out because you spent so much time and effort getting this lead, you want to get that. You want to provide that personalized experience. But on the other hand, those things take like half an hour to actually suss out and get the
Oh wow.
information, because you start having conversation, right? You're like, oh, in the backyard, we have this. It's not an irregular size lot. It's this. And then, you start asking more questions. And sometimes it can take agents quite a bit of time to just get the information they need. But now with AI bots, you can, when someone go to your click your ad and click a button, they're not going to talk to you. They're going to talk to your virtual assistant who will be able to gather all those information for you on your behalf.
Saving a lot of time for these agents because I mean, instead of letting the conversation run away, the chatbot's going to stick to the formula, right? They're going to stick to a set of questions that need to be asked. So one, the realtor can, sometimes get off topic with while talking to somebody, and this gets all the information and puts it in a package for the agents.
Yeah, and the good part of this is you're in control of the dialogue flow, right?
Right
You're
on.
in control of the script. So you are always going to get the same information every time. It's not going to, you're not going to be, oh man, I forgot to ask that question. And now I got to call them back 2 days later,
Yeah.
When you have these agents, they will be able to make sure they collect all the information that you have asked them. So it's consistent, it's efficient, and it's getting ever closer to you feeling that they are you can't even tell they're not a real person anymore.
It's incredible. Sometimes I'm sitting there on the phone and, you can even hear, I mean, this has been going on for over a year, but, the fake typewriter noise in the back, the AI, the chatbot's asking you, what is your concern? And you say your concern, and then you hear the fake typewriter going in the background like they're hitting the keyboard. But yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. Like, now they're learning how we talk, right? It's not just, when we speak, there's more, there's ahs, ums, there's thinking, there's like the voice that you make with your lips, like this, like they are incorporating all of that because these are all just training data. They feed it to the system, and now they're making these AI chatbot have these quirks that human beings have. So it's really, really difficult now. Like at the end, it came really uh, significantly over the last, 6 to 12 months. 12 months ago, you can still tell. Now, it's like 98%.
Oh wow! Now this is a chatbot that is usually customer facing. Is there something that is, uh, let's say in this example, agent facing? So, the information, the chatbot just did its job with a potential client, got all the information.
Hmm.
Is there anything that, that all of a sudden, the agent's driving from one listing to another or one showing to another, and the chatbot can say, hey, you just got what
Yeah.
I consider as
So
an urgent message.
yeah, so what you can do is you can build workflows now, right? So
All
once
right.
the voice comes over, you have the entire transcript, right? So now you can just create a workflow that says, all right, take these points, send them into an email or put them into a Google Sheet, and then I will have all the information. That's one. Or you can directly replay back the voice recording, which you will have. It's done by the system, and
Uh,
you can just listen to the whole conversation.
okay.
So you can get all of those for sure. So today, let me show you one of the probably the most powerful tools at the company that does this. It's called 11 Labs. They're probably one of the first really big company that came out
Oh
with
wow.
conversation agents, right? Like their focus has been on voice to speech, right? So if you look at here where they have a text to speech, obviously voice changer, sound effects, just there's anything you need to deal with voice, this platform can manage. Huh?
Wow.
And what's really cool is you go to conversation AI, then you have your dashboard. You can tell you how many uh, calls it's made, where did it go to, which agent made what call, how much did it cost you. It's insane. And look, the cost is super cheap. On this call, I tested, my wife is an insurance broker, so I tested with her. It's about 1 minute, and it only costs 0.003 cents from the LLM side. So it's
Wow.
getting extremely cheap now,
Wow.
right? Yeah, like if you take that times 100, then you're got 100 minutes for what, 30 cents?
Incredible.
Eh, Yeah. So you can. Let me just show you something I created, right? So this is a voice agent. I said it's Catherine Lee Insurance Agent Support, whatever. You choose the language. You can choose its first message. If it calls you, this is what you will hear. You can just type it in, and that's what it will say.
Wow.
Then you go to the system prompt, right? What kind of agent is it? Well, then you can decide its personality. You're Harper, vibrant and personable sales consultant. And then you can edit this entire thing to
Incredible.
whatever that you need to for the agent to behave and how they behave. You can do it in here.
That's
Tone,
insane.
yeah, goals. Like goal, your primary mission is secure buy-in from decision maker by conveying an immediate long-term advantage if you 11 lab conversation AI. So that you actually give it a goal, so it will work towards that. So it can steer conversation towards that. Then you choose your LLM. There's a whole list of them, like depends on which one you prefer. And there's a cost breakdown, so you can just, make your pick, right? Temperature is how much creativity you want to give the agent. Do you want it to stay within a very narrow a set of parameters, that you have set for it, or do you want it to be more creative, like to start talk outside of the box? Limit the token usage, so you can say, I don't want this call to last more than 3 minutes, or I
Wow.
don't want this call to cost me more than 10 cents,
Yeah.
and then you can just say that. Add the document for agent's knowledge base. So you can say, okay, here's everything that you need to know about my product. I have a brochure, I load in my documents, knowledge base, whatever. You
Oh
load it
my
in, it
gosh.
will understand that context and only talk to you based off those information that you have provided. And then you can give it tools. Like, you can tell it to transfer to another voice agent. Like, if it asks you, if this agent is someone to get leads and they're upset or something, you can then transfer it to another, I don't know, retention agent that you created for your business.
I want to speak to your supervisor.
Yeah, yeah. And then it goes to
Wow.
your supervisor agent, right? It's kind of crazy.
No, that's awesome and awful at the same time.
Transfer to number, you can now transfer to human beings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then you can hook it all up onto phone numbers, so you can use them to actually call as real phone numbers.
Now the custom tools there, are there like endless possibilities or is it pretty just
I'm pretty sure you can do whatever you want these days, right?
crazy?
So it's crazy. So let me show you how to.
It's incredible.
Let's give this agent a call, okay?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I mean, I mean, uh, I'm gonna do it through my phone, so I can talk to it, but you'll hear it, right? Okay, let's call this Catherine Lee insurance agent. Press the call.
This agent working with Catherine Lee Insurance.
Yeah, can you tell me what does Catherine Lee provide?
I can certainly help with that. To give you the most relevant information, are you interested in personal insurance, business insurance, or something else?
Yeah, personal insurance actually.
It's to personal insurance or something else.
Yeah, I actually just recently bought a car. I need some auto insurance.
Insurance. To get started, are you looking for basic coverage or are you interested in
Anyway, I think you get the idea.
Yeah. No,
Like,
that's
you see how
incredible.
fast it responds?
It,
Like, that there was no, I remember in original Siri, you tell it, you gotta wait 3 to 4 seconds before it responds.
yeah.
This is less than half a second now.
Incredible. I mean, you're not even, it's going to be doing the sales for you soon.
Yeah, think about it, man. If you are a solopreneur or you are a small business, right? Like, having people on staff answering same old questions, inquiries from your customers or potential leads, and now you are just, you have this tool now. You don't need people doing that. Now you can have them make actual, outbound retention calls, or follow up with a customer, building more relationship. You're not. I'm not saying this tool is just going to eliminate all the call jobs, but it's probably going to give people more opportunities to do things that these robots cannot handle.
Incredible. I'm just thinking of all the possibilities out there, of how you could use this. This is, it's mind blowing. I'm going to have to play around with this one, I think.
Yeah, I think I think every business can find a use case for it, right? Whether every business needs to turn a lead into a customer, right? And there's always a conversation. There's always either you're providing information or you're analyzing situations. There's always got to be that information exchange. And the best way that people like to do things are through a conversation. And now with AI, it can kind of do some of the heavy lifting for you. Like, they can just gather information, and then you can then have more meaningful information conversation based off your expertise, but you don't have to waste time to do the basic data gathering, or just like you just saw that conversation I had. Okay, now Catherine would know next time she knows I'm actually calling for car insurance, right? So if
Yeah.
she calls me back, she knows how to structure the conversation, and that's it. It was that quick, and then she got the value, and she can say, okay, great, car insurance. Let me call this person, and that's it.
And this is like, I think you said 30 cents for 100 minutes or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
whatever.
it's. I mean, you look at
Even if it was a
the
dollar, even if it
money.
was a,
It's
even if it was $1, think of think of the cost savings, the time savings, and the energy that just goes into that for that price of what a small business owner can achieve.
I mean, it's almost like a no-brainer. Like like if you know how to do this, you have to do it because it's difficult to do the status quo when you know this exists.
I'm thinking of
Yeah,
so
yeah,
many
okay. I
things.
just
I gotta
looked at
play
the
around. I
last.
gotta play around with that. I think I'm gonna be on that thing for hours.
Yeah, I mean, so per minute, based off that call, that agent that we were using, per minute is 0.0004 cents.
I can afford that today. I can do
Yeah, yeah. Even with inflation, you got it covered.
that. Wow. So that's
11 labs.
11 labs. Okay, that's perfect. What else is one of the major ones out there right now that or
I mean, 11 labs is probably the one that people use the most.
okay,
They are very robust. They do a lot more. They're probably the best at doing the speech model.
very
I would
cool.
say, yeah, they for a lot of entrepreneurs, they also generate audio for your audiobooks, right? Like if you have a book, you load this up and it just reads it for you, and now you have audiobook.
Okay. All right. So
Isn't
if I've written a book, it
Yep.
can create my okay, and then I could upload that to the services.
And and the craziest thing is if you got about 1 to 2 hours of training data of your own voice, whether you're on a podcast or
I was going to
you're
ask this. Okay.
whatever, you can train it to clone your voice, right? So it will sound like you that's doing the reading.
Wow.
So it's narrated by the author, even though you don't have to spend 4 hours reading your own book. And the recording quality is way better, right? Like imagine you have to actually record your book, right? How would you do it? You have to get a mic, you have to get a studio mic, you have to record, you have to do chapters and chapters and have the breaks and you have to take away like you have to try eliminate breathing too hard or
And
God forbid.
you
Yeah.
also need like a studio-like environment because you
Yeah,
can't have any outside noise or anything like that going on. The dog can't be barking. The mailman can't be trying to open up the door, knocking.
exactly. Yeah, Amazon delivery guy isn't here like, hey, here's your whatever, right? When you do it through this, all of that variable is eliminated, right? You're just uploading text and out comes audio.
Now, I was thinking about having your voice recording for outgoing phone calls, but I don't think that would be well received on the other side. That your voice is calling other people and it's not really authentically you. I
Yeah,
don't
you
think.
should probably disclaim. I mean, unless you tell your voice agent, how we had that um, how to start the conversation. Unless you provide a disclaimer, then that should be fine, right? Hi, this is Jim. This is not Jim. I'm a voice clone of Jim, and this is an agent. And can I ask you something? Like then they understand they're not really talking to you. They're talking to someone that sounds like you and is your voice agent. Like,
All right.
yeah, soon everybody's gonna have one. Everybody's gonna have their own voice agent. No one even need to talk to each other. Just like have your agent call my agent, okay?
All right. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. That's that's what you're watching, the AI Advantage here with Jim and George. You get this type of information, get a walkthrough on how to demonstrate how to use these new tools out there that's available for you for a fraction of the cost of your own time, your own effort, and your own energy putting it in. So that's 11 Labs. That's George Yang giving a demo on that. I want to thank you guys all for tuning in and watching this recording. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time right here on the AI Advantage.
Thanks. Bye, Jim.
Bye bye.